Hello and welcome. Depending on when you see this video, when you come into Google Gemini, you may see a tab that says Create Music. What you will also see in the Tools area, if that's the case, is you'll see a tab that you can click on that says Create Music. You can go to any of your Google properties. You can type in Lyria, Music Generation Prompt Guide, and Google provides guidance on how to prompt the music generation engine. You can also search inside of Google DeepMind, and you will see that there is an area where Google provides clues on how to write effective prompts with Lyria. Lyria provides an engine for text to music, image to music, and then detailed structured prompts for music. You will also notice that when you select music, you can add in any source documents, including NotebookLM, code, photos, additions from Drive, and then uploading files in order to influence the music you create. If you go inside of Google Gemini Gems and you click on Start a New Gem, if you go to the No Default Tool area and you go to the drop-down menu, you will see that Create Music is one of the tools that you can use when you are creating a gem. When you're in Google Gemini, you can click on Select Music. And what you'll see here is that Google will give you track to remix. And if you click on them, you'll notice then that what you can do is you can customize this individual track. What you can also do is you can ask Gemini for all of the different ways in which you can prompt. With the music element turned on, you can ask for 20 different prompts that demonstrate what you can do with Lyria, whether it's with lyrics or without. And you can use the Pro version in order to do it. Gemini will then give you a full-scale answer on the kind of prompts you can place into Gemini using Lyria as a music tab. The music you create can be instrumental or it can have lyrics with it. For example, you'll see on your screen a clip of music that was created using Google Gemini. The prompt was short, but then rewritten and reinterpreted by Gemini, and then producing the following music.
The city holds its breath in the moonlight. Another season turns and fades from sight. The sidewalk gleams beneath a distant star. Don't know how long we've been or where we are. And in this moment time just drifts away, reflecting on the ending of the day. I hear that ancient rhythm in my soul, a quiet peace that makes a person whole.
And so you can create a clip using Gemini. That clip can be downloaded as a track. You can download the track as a video with cover art, or you can download the track as audio only as an MP3 track. You can share the track, and you can use the link to share with others. And with the music, you can also show the subtitles as it plays. So without specific parameters, Google will make up its own parameters. You can take any of the sample prompts in order to test out the engine, and you can alter the prompt here in this area. You want to make sure that the music track is selected. Again, what you're trying to do here in this case is you're trying to test the engine to determine what it is it will do. Now, as you see here, we do have the Pro version selected. In this particular case, we're going to select Thinking to determine the quality of the sound that is created. We're then going to click Enter. What you'll then notice is that Gemini will then analyze the prompt, and it will then turn on Lyria in order to create your music. Now, the first attempt was a little wonky. Now, one of the things that you are going to notice is that when we use the Thinking tab and we interact with the music application, you're going to get an interpretation of your prompt. However, if you do have Pro queries available and you want to use the Pro version, it typically will get closer to what you are asking for in your prompt. For example, we can listen to an instrumental track created with the Pro version. We can also listen to a track with lyrics created with the Pro version.
Street lights paint the wet asphalt gold. A story.
So as you can see, it does matter which model you're going to use. If you're going to use a Pro version, you're going to get a better version of what it is you are asking for. And the AI, as of the recording of this video, does interpret your prompt in a way that gets closer to what it is that you may be asking for. As stated before, you can also use the music element inside of a Gemini gem. So if we go to the gem area and we go to the gem manager, we can create a brand new gem. We're going to use the description tab, and we're going to use it in order to communicate to the person using the gem what they should be entering. Now, in terms of the instructions, you can go to Gemini and you can ask Gemini to write your prompt. Now, what you'll want to do is you'll want to get your most successful prompt, and you'll want to write in here into the instructions area. Once you write in your prompt, what you can do is you can get Gemini to rewrite the prompt by clicking on this magic wand, and Gemini will then rewrite your instructions. Once you've completed that and Gemini has rewritten the prompt, as you can see here, our prompt is now rewritten. We can now head to the tool area, and we're going to go from no default tool to creating music. What we can now do is we'll go to the knowledge area. And if you have a way of influencing the process and you want to include this in your gem so that the gem uses it over and over again, you're going to do it here. For the sake of this video, we're not going to use knowledge files. We can use a NotebookLM notebook, code, photos, a file from our drive, or we can upload a file here in order to influence the process. What we are now going to do is we're going to save our gem. And our gem has now been created. We can now start the chat. And what we can now do is we can test our gem to make sure that it actually works. So this is a sample gem, and what we're doing is we're saying we want a certain kind of study experience. We're going to switch this to Pro for the sake of this creation, and then we're going to click Submit. And our Gemini gem should produce a music track conducive to what it is that we are doing. So the gem asks us a question, so we're going to answer the questions of the gem. And so we're going to answer the gem. We're going to make sure the Pro is selected. We're then going to click Submit. And the Gemini gem will now create our music. The first track was not quite what we wanted. So we went back and we iterated with the gem in order to produce a second track. Provided an iteration prompt, and the AI was able to deliver something closer to our prompt. We can download the video with the cover art, or we can just download the MP3 track. One thing that we do want to do is we do want to go back to the gem, and we want to make sure that the model is going to be Pro by default so that it always uses the Pro version. So one of the most important elements is to come back to Google DeepMind and go through the prompt guide and make sure that this is something that you thoroughly understand. And then to also understand the Lyria music generation prompt guide, which will give you clues on how the AI actually works. So what we have done is we have explored the new Lyria tool interface inside of Google Gemini. Okay, so thanks, and I will see you in another video.